Did you know that the Bible is the only religious book that contains verifiable predictive prophecies? 2,500 prophecies have been recorded in the scriptures, of which 2,000 have already been fulfilled with historical accuracy. But there's one that stands out. It actually predicts the exact year the Messiah would reveal himself and the exact year that he would die, 500 years before it happened. Before we get to that prophecy, there was another prophecy. Jeremiah warned that if Judah didn't turn back to God, a foreign power would bring judgment. He even named the man God would use, Nebuchadnezzar, before he was even king. In 586 BC it happened. Jerusalem was destroyed, the temple was burnt down, and the people were exiled to Babylon for 70 years, just like Jeremiah had said. Now Daniel was one of the Jewish captives that was exiled into Babylon, and he lived in Babylon for decades and realized the 70 years was almost over. So he turns to God in prayer, and God sends the angel Gabriel to give him a specific message, concise, detailed, and pretty incredible. Gabriel tells Daniel that a timeline has been set, 70 weeks, but in prophecy a week means 7 years, not 7 days. So 70 weeks means a span of time covering many generations, in other words 490 years, but the focus is on the first 69 weeks, or 483 years, leading straight to the Messiah's arrival. Gabriel says from the moment the command goes out to rebuild Jerusalem until the Messiah comes, there will be 69 weeks. In other words, 483 years. In simpler terms, Gabriel gave Daniel a countdown that started with a real event and ended up with the Anointed One stepping into history. That command to rebuild Jerusalem happened in 457 BC, when a Persian king named Artaxerxes made it official. Fast forward to 27 AD, or 483 years later, 69 prophetic weeks, and what do we see? Jesus of Nazareth being baptized, beginning his public ministry right on time. The prophecy continues in Daniel 9:26, where Gabriel reveals that the Messiah would not only appear, but he would be cut off, meaning killed, not for himself, but for others. And in the next verse it says, in the middle of the week, he will put an end to sacrifice and offering. That's exactly what happened. Jesus was crucified in 31 AD, 3.5 years after his ministry began at baptism, right in the middle of the final prophetic week. His death fulfilled what the sacrifices pointed to, as Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice to atone for the sins of humanity. This prophecy was so detailed, so precise, that for centuries critics didn't believe it could have been written beforehand. They said it's too accurate, it must have been written after Jesus lived. But in the 1940s, something unexpected happened. The Dead Sea Scrolls were found. Among them, the book of Daniel, dated hundreds of years before Jesus was even born, proving that Jesus is the true Messiah and that the Bible isn't just a religious book, it's of divine origin.